Right, big enough brush. And now with the sky, you want shapes within this shape. So I want like a light area of cream, which will be white with a bit of yellow ochre or sienna. And then I want light blue, then some dark blues. So you want these definite areas to give interest with the sky. And if you look at the sky when you go out, you'll find it's always lighter blue here on the horizon than above you. That's because that's further away. Okay? So that's a trick you might not have noticed before at all. So now, with having done a mid-tone, you see how that's registering straight away now? That is on there. So it's very random. Now if I get some water, not much, very, very little, and this ultramarine blue here. Now you can see what I'm doing, I'm keeping that light. I don't want to go into that with this blue. And you might want to do a sky perhaps twice. You might think, oh, it needs stronger paint on it. Well, let it dry, and then you can go over it again. But you see, I'm not labouring now. I'm going to go for a darker blue now. So that means less white. More blue, less white. So you can see how dark that is compared to there. So, and you've got to think with the sky, it's all very random usually anyway, so you haven't got to labour it. Now, I've more or less covered the canvas to give a feel of where I'm going. But now what I can do is put a little bit of that Venetian red in there. And you watch. You see, that's great, isn't it? Look at that now. So again, I don't want to do that all over, just in parts to give interest to the sky. So you're having now a bit of like an overcast sky now, and you put the same up here. And if I was doing this in the house, I'd go over it again, you know. Now, what I want to do is get so I'm putting thicker paint on now, see, and it's registering great. So I'm going to want this to stand out, the old windmill, and which will be orange, and that'll pop then against the blue, see? Now what I can do, if I just get some more white, so what I might do is get a different brush that's clean, get some more white on here.
Can't see by there.
There we go.
Okay.
Right. Or can you see, by the way? If you come round, it might be easier for you. If you want. Now, see, you watch what'll happen here now. So I've got, it's not white, see, it's more on the cream side. Gives a bit of warmth. And what I might do now with that, get some white in by there as well, then down in by here. And if I can just, I'm going to warm this up even more, see? Now, if I can do that, and because this is quite thin, if I go into the into this now. That'll be that much thicker.
What is that, sir?
This is the gesso. Now I'm going to get a thin brush. You can see how fast I'm going. And this is, start on the light, so you're not picking up the blue too soon. I can see how soft that's going. I think that's about it. What is that like from? I can't see from there. But yeah, but you can see the sort of atmosphere there now in that. And let's clean this. I'm going to be careful here. I'm used to this study. My study is a heck of a state, but I'm going to watch it. Right. Now, let's I'll get another brush on you better. So now what I'm going to do now is I want a bit of hills in the distance, and that's got a little bit of the red in it, so it's like a grey blue, which is just what I want. And that's too green, so let's get a bit, and this is where you make mistakes, you just, well, let's correct it. See, no, that's better. And if it's too dark, I can go over it and make it lighter again. But see, those are the hills. And that's all there is to it, basically. See, let's get, as long as the bottom is relatively flat, the top can be whatever shape you want it, really. But you can see now that's coming. Now I'm going to mix now some green. So let's take this over here. So I've taken the yellow ochre or raw sienna. It's the same, basically it is, just different names. But can you see the area I'm covering? I'm not labouring it too much. And then what I want a darker area, so I'm putting some red with it, some brown with it. And this will be more or less at the water's edge. Yeah, you can see where goodness never allowed in my study.
Behind every man is a good woman.
Yes. Oh, they say behind every successful man there's a surprise woman. Now I'm going to mix a lighter green again. So let's do this. And this is the fun part, you see, I'm not labouring it too much, it's not hard work, it's just, right, let's get that over in there. And there. And there. Now I need really to, I want to get the water, I'm going to do that last, you see. So let's get this water in here, which is more or less a thing of the sky. Now what you can do this if you want. Where the sky is going that way, when it comes to the water, put it down that way. See? Put him down that way. And it looks then like it's reflecting. I'm going to come over this with reeds anyway. But let's get a bit of, so what I'm doing, I'm just, the colours that are up here, But it looks like then it's reflecting down, see? And let's get a darker, just get a darker bit in there for the sky, it's up there. So, right, okay, I think that's not so bad for that. Let's look at these. Now, I'm going to want to get more of the rushes in. So what I want is just a suggest of the water behind you, a suggestion. Now, I'll be going over all of this, so at this stage, I'm just wanting everything in its place to think, right, composition works, you know. And we'll get some there as well. But you see, you give an interest now, see. Now, bear in mind, water's level, always level, so you want those areas relatively flat, okay? And so I'm just working on shapes, really, interesting shapes. And so I'm not worried about too much if I make a mistake or a bit too brown. I know I can go over it. And what you can do, if you lift off like that, can you see the effect you get with the reeds? So we can do the same thing for here, really. But having said that, let's get that in with there like that as well, and with there a bit as well. So that can be rough on the top, but you want it level on the bottom, like that. You want it level. This is brown I'm using, but I've got that green underneath, see, so it's... Yeah, it's coming right actually. So I'm going to just get variation in here of what are browns. Then I'm going to go on the blue side. Right. Now then. Now I want to vary the grass here. So what we're going to do, should have a action. I've got the light red or Venetian red. So it's the effect of bushes. You don't want to do it all over or you will lose the effect. You want to do it just here and there. And then what I want is to get variation in here. That's pretty good. Yeah. Now can you see the light registering there now? Because I've got the dark underneath. I'll put a bit more colour in here and here. And then once you've done, normally I would have a cup of coffee once I've done all this and just come back to it fresh then and just mess around and enjoy it all. Just I think we better just leave that for now And let's concentrate on the RB now then. Now this is the real fun part. So we want, I'm going to put that, I think, with some yellow and white. A bit more yellow, I think. Mix it all red. Just see what we got here now. Yep, that's pretty good. Now you see it's a strong shape. And it's an upright where everything is flat. Everything's horizontal. Now all of a sudden we've got an upright in here and it just zings, you know. So that's more or less my mid-tone. And what I'll do now, I want a dark this sort of side because it's going to be in shadow. So I did that. See, I'm not thinking of windows or anything at this stage. I'm just thinking mainly of shape. Now I want this a lot lighter. A lot lighter, yeah. Let's just try it. Right. I think what I'll do, I'll use the actual gesso paste for the archway. Let's see how we get on. I'm sorry if I'm in the way, but I've got to sort of position myself here to get a straight line. Now you'll find often with white like this, you have to go over it about 3 times and it'll get whiter each time you do it. And the ruins go over here. Yeah, we did an exchange with a minister who was in Norfolk. He came to our house in the Mumbles and we went to his. And we thought, well, what could go wrong, you know? Only that, he had a teenage boy who had a strop on and wouldn't go with him, so we'd look after him. And it's just went downhill from there. But I had a lovely day out in the Broads, out my Wellingtons. And now, what I want to do now is, this is where you would take your time on this part here, see, because it's the focal point. So now I want to get the arc register there. So all I've done, I've darkened that underneath. And then it'll be dark there. Now, like I say, that needs to dry off and then get more white in and blues, and that will be the focal point. But you can see where we're going, more or less. There we go. Like it's very rough, but it's giving you the idea of where we're going. So if I can just see here, I think. Now these old frames, I was saying last week, I picked up in carbons, which is amazing really. It doesn't take for about £5, you know, surprising charity shops, and that table easel there I had in the charity shop in Caerphilly for a couple of pounds. So if you look around, you don't just need to spend a lot. And yeah, so next week I'll bring it in and be finished, and you can see what I've done with it then. But that's just the basic shapes, composition there. You always have to think of the painting being interesting. Focal point is either there. Think of noughts and crosses, and where they join, either there, 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 or there. That's where you want your focal point. And I'll tell you what I'll do now, while I'm on here, because a number of you now are on this last part, aren't you, from last week, with the detail, aren't you, with the branches. And let me just show you a trick with the branches. Yes, I'll have to be careful now, there's nothing holding this on here. But see, I'm putting plenty of water on this, right? So I've got it, I'll try it by there, and yeah, a bit more water. This is the trick with these branches. Start down here, and you can lean all right, but then you take the pressure off, right? Off and off and off. Because see what's happening? So I'm taking the pressure off, and then what you do, you work, see, trees are wonderful. They balance each other all the time. And as long as you remember that with the tree, so if you're putting say I'm putting a branch out here, then it'll put another one out here, you know. But you can see I'm just taking it off. It doesn't matter that I'm missing any, but that's the trick, is plenty of water and hardly touching the paper. Okay, there are some of these brushes, I'm going to borrow them in the box there, which you'll find easier perhaps than a short brush. I said last week they call that the rigger, because with the old ships in the 1700s, when they used to paint the old ships and do the sails and everything, they would use that for painting the rigging. Okay, so it's called a rigger. But often the paint is too thick with people. So thin it out, plenty of water, try it and see what it's like. And you'd have the same principle with the grass here. So you'd have the same, if I lift it off, see? So I'm leaning, but when I come up, I lift it off then. So, yeah, like I said, that'll be another, when you see that next week, it'll be a different painting. But, okay, any other questions, or does someone want to get painting now? And so some of you, all you have to do, basically, a lot of you, is with these trees, isn't it? A little bit of detail, not much. Well, I'll come round with you and see how we're getting on. And you see, the other part with these is, while you want the branches wet, you want this now like quite dry really, and then just leave it. Are you with me? Because you're given the effect of like winter sort of foliage, you know. But can you see? Can you see how light I take it off? See, take it out, and can you see how it's a very, very light touch, you know? Very light, and then take it off.